All right, we are back, and we've got a couple of great friends of Electric Playground. I've known these guys for many years. This is Paul Ruskay, who is a composer and a musician, and this is Arndt, who is a hardcore programmer and game maker. Known Arndt since back at Black Box. You were there for the whole run of Black Box. I was there for about 4 months as a designer. We met on a NASCAR project years ago. And then you worked at United Front Games. Did you work at EA as well?
Yep.
Yeah, everybody does a stint at Electronic Arts.
Well, we got bought, so.
Yeah, and then you got bought, of course, right. And Paul actually composed many things, worked on Homeworld and all kinds of great projects, and also composed music for Electric Playground.
Yeah, that's right.
And Reviews on the Run, so you've heard some of his work in our shows. But they're here today for a new company and a new project. The company's called Luminawesome. It's a team of how many, Arndt?
4.
Of 4 people. We like that. We like small but mighty.
Yeah, old school.
And the game that you're showing off today is called Lumote. And Arndt, why don't I start with you? What is Lumote all about?
Okay, well, you play as Lumote, our cute little squishy bioluminescent sea creature.
You gotta eat the mics.
Sorry. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So in Lumote, it's really about pushing your blue power through the world, which is controlled essentially by the red power, which is the master mode. It's sort of like the boss of the world. And like sort of like our unique thing, I guess, is like you have basically 2 abilities. So you can jump and double jump, but your main one is to be able to possess. So you possess all the other creatures in the world and you use their abilities to solve the puzzles. So actually I can show you that. I timed this wrong.
It's hard to talk and play at the same time. That is a big chunk of it. I'm hearing all of this atmospheric kind of music right now. Is this part of the score? Do you do that stuff too?
Yeah, I did all the audio, Wise integration.
Okay.
And so it's such a small team. I guess I was the audio department.
That's cool.
So all the sound design, all the music, coming up with Lumote's voice, so all those little voice reactions.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And what was the inspiration for the character and the way the characteristics of this?
You know, it's a really dreamlike environment, and I think the influences we were talking about was sort of like nature documentaries.
Okay.
And kind of like internet radio from the early 2000s. You know, so that you know, it's like you're listening to Drone Zone or something, and you know, you can lose a couple hours just listening to that. So
cool, because
it's such a ambient experience.
That's supposed to be chill, right?
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, so what are you showing us right here, Arndt?
Okay, so this little guy here, we call it dumb bad. So basically dumb battery. So in this case, over here at the switch, when you take control of the switch, you can see the blue energy goes and opens up the exit.
Yeah.
But when you release, the red energy just flows back in. So you have to figure out how to keep that switch blue. So this guy here, if we possess him, and then we can move him onto the switch, and then, so he'll keep channeling whatever the last energy to actually, that controlled it. So a lot of the later puzzles.
Oh wow, man! So and this is all explorable world?
Oh yeah.
You can go all through there.
So the entire game is actually visible. So a bit later, the whole world will activate, and then you'll actually be able to see everything. But there's no load screens. The entire game is actually here.
So that's the whole game.
Yeah, this is the game.
That's very cool. So, that's awesome.
You'll be able to see it a lot better later.
Is Lumote an alien? Or is there like a backstory to the creature? Or?
There is, but we have not revealed it in this one.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah. You want people to. It's experiential.
Yes.
You want people to kind of zen out and chill out. And
exactly.
This is. UFG. You guys did Mod Nation Racers, and you did the. What was the other big game that you launched?
Oh, well, there was Sleeping Dogs.
Sleeping Dogs, huge,
and,
amazing.
Yeah, and Little Big Planet Karting.
Little Big Planet Karting, yeah. Are you working with ex-UFG people here on this, or?
Yeah, Kyle and I worked at UFG together.
Okay.
He was specifically on Sleeping Dogs, but we worked on a lot of shared technology stuff.
So you guys had the talent and the ability to go in a million different directions, and this isn't the type of game that people would necessarily associate with UFG, but clearly there was a passion to go in this direction. Was that led as a collective, or was there one person that was saying we should make a platform action puzzle game?
A collective, but also at the same time. So the fourth person on the team is Michelle, who's Kyle's wife.
Okay.
And she loves everything cute.
Yeah.
So this, the initial concept for the game came from a game jam that they did for Halloween 5 years ago.
Awesome.
So it was the first Unreal game jam, and the theme of it was Bump in the Night. So they started off with a concept of you're the main character, and every time you jump, you release a burst of light, and that also activates the enemies. And that game, they ended up winning the game jam with that idea, and then that idea eventually evolved into this.
That's amazing. So for people that don't know, most of you guys would know, but it's a game jam is when people have like a weekend to try to sort of proof of concept an idea into playable form using established game engines like Unreal or Unity or something like that, just to see if there's fun there, and that sounds like there was.
Yeah. So that idea, although it was actually quite different in a lot of respects, the main thing that's persisted is sort of the concept of the squishy character, I guess, is mainly the only thing that actually made it.
It does look like everything in the world is squishy. It does look malleable, and is that true? Is that all the way through it? It's all kind of living and.
Oh, actually, this ties in very well too. So, because we don't actually have an animator on the team, but we still wanted things to feel sort of like the theme is sort of underwater, right? So a lot of the inspiration for the art style comes from the bioluminescent sea creatures at the bottom of the ocean.
Cool.
And a lot of those things are squishy and just weird looking and move in ways which are unfamiliar. So one of the things when we started working with Paul was we wanted to use the audio to drive as much of the motion in the game as possible. So like one of the things here, so like this little guy here, so all of the animation that's actually happening on this character is actually driven by the audio that Paul makes.
How did that work?
Well, it sounds a lot more complicated than it is, but basically how it works is we used Wise by Audio Kinetic, and they have a plugin which basically you can track the decibel meter on a bus and translate that into a data stream, which can be fed back into the game engine to drive particles, lighting, and mesh animation.
Wow.
So it was really interesting because we didn't have an animator, I sort of took on a role of like almost like a visual effects side of it, because like a toot will be a blast of particles, or a long sound will be a stream of particles.
Amazing.
So you're kind of thinking about audio in a visual kind of way.
That's kind of the way that I know Arndt works, you know? Because I mean these guys were like rock star programmers that were the way that I met Arndt and some of the other programmers that you work with at Black Box is they would reverse engineer everything, and they would figure everything out to the core. And I was a really young designer thinking maybe I'm gonna go make video games, and I remember talking with these guys, and I just felt so stupid. I'd go home every night, I'm like, I don't even know what the hell they're talking about. But they were just sort of like breaking it down and building it back up again. And it sounds like this is a really heavy programmer-led kind of concept in a way.
Yeah, actually, in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Yes. Kyle is an artist and coder.
Okay.
And I'm coder, but also do a lot of the rendering and graphics.
Right.
Michelle is the level designer, but she's also a coder as well.
That's amazing. Yeah.
So
is that the secret?
Really just
is that the secret to a small team? Is to have a lot of core programming sort of experience and knowledge?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's the secret, but like in our case, with the four of us, we specifically chose a genre, and I guess the game design choices were centered around our strengths, right? So for instance, there's no dialogue in our game because none of us are a writer, right? So, and because Kyle's an artist as well as a coder, and I'm like a rendering coder, we sort of focused a lot of the aesthetic around what we could do via code.
Nice.
And then mixing that code with the audio design seemed like a really good way to cover off the animation side as well. And so, and a lot of the other animation in the game is actually physics driven as well. So it really, it's knowing the composition of your team and knowing the strengths, and then making decisions that play to those strengths rather than to your weaknesses.
And you guys have both shipped so many games over the years that this feels like a very calculated choice on exactly how you want to make a game in 2020.
I think the tools are at a point right now where, I mean, this is where, at least from an audio perspective, where the Wise tools are at right now. I mean, we kind of dreamed about this stuff.
Do you work for Wise?
Well, now that you mention it,
Wise, if you're hiring.
Yeah,
Paul Ruskay is pimping your stuff like crazy right now.
I can't speak, highly enough for that wonderful tool. No, but that was the thing.
Check
Was
is going to come up.
Yeah. But that was the great thing about it because, Arndt and Kyle are, they're specialists in terms of programming and being able to harness audio waveforms to drive visual systems was something I had never thought of.
Yeah.
But once, I sort of got into it and Arndt will get to a point hopefully where we have the audio driving like camera shake.
Yep.
And some other visual things. So I think in 2020, the experience for me at least is that a small group of really, proficient devs can put together quite a nice game experience.
It's beautiful, and the game is out now already on Steam,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Is it out of in early access or is it the finished game?
Finished game.
Finished game. Did you do an early access? Or?
No.
No, because you guys have shipped 1 million games, so you know what it takes. So you made a game and you put it out on Steam. How's it doing?
It's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
It's like at PAX, we just got back from PAX East in Boston, and the game was amazingly well received.
Cool.
It was, we had 3 stations set up, and it was continuous. Like even on the slow days, it was just multiple people deep wanting to play it. It's also really cool at those kind of shows, seeing the range of skill levels of people that'll come to play it, and then just the way.
I guess it's like real life focus testing right there, isn't
Yeah,
it? It's like,
it is. Yeah,
like, watch them play test your stuff.
It's also really cool to see people who don't even like the genre just get mesmerized by the visuals and then come and play it and then finish the whole like demo segment. So it's heartwarming, especially after 5 years of work. So.
Yeah. Is that how long it's been? You guys have been working
it's
for
like
5
5 years.
Yeah, I guess that's the other side of the story. When you're small, you can do it
takes a
all,
lot
but it
longer,
takes a lot longer. Yeah. Has it been a rewarding experience already, regardless of where this goes or how this goes? Do you feel?
Oh, yeah.
Does it feel amazing to
absolutely.
just make the
Absolutely.
thing and have it out in the world?
And it's kind of like getting back to basics too, where larger productions have a lot more moving parts.
Yeah.
And so it's nice having. I mean, you have to be responsible for your own creative vision, but it was just kind of like a really. It wasn't without stress, but it was definitely rewarding when it was coming together.
Nice.
And we could see the vision actually what we talked about come together.
Have you had any reviews of the game on websites or anything like that, or anybody like any peers have played it and given you guys feedback?
I think we're at 88 on Metacritic.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So we have-
Congratulations, man. That's no easy task. That's amazing.
But that's only 2 reviews, so.
Clearly, there is no marketing person at Luminawesome.
Where's my media training? Right.
That's wonderful. So people can go and check out Lumote right now. Is there a demo or anything, or do they got to buy the thing to play it?
A demo's in the works.
Okay.
But right now,
Okay.
yes,
This looks like a Switch game to me.
So that's the very next platform we're doing.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, I know you're going to make a lot of Switch fans happy. Arndt and Paul, thank you so much for coming, and we'll definitely have you guys back again if you'd like to come down to EP.
Absolutely.
But go and check out Lumote on Steam, and stay tuned for more announcements on where else the game might live. Everybody, please give it up for Luminawesome.